Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another Techu Tuesday. This is the weekly Techu stream where we share the love we have for this such amazing game. I'm your host and world champion Alvaro, and I will be sharing one full hour of Techu matches where I play against the AI, and I will walk you through the strategies what I usually think about when I'm going depending on the scenario that I'm facing myself against the AI. And as you know, I like to do it a play by play where I think about, you know, why am I going this way or that way, and basically giving you insights as to, more something more than just a basic explanation of how the game works. So without further ado, let's just start with our first match of the evening. We're gonna do a one player game against the AI, and let's get started. So as always, we're gonna draw three cards. Oh, I went too fast. We draw three cards and we play the lowest card on hand. It's gonna be this number 5. The AI is going first because he played a 2. Okay, we drew an ace. That's really, really good as a starting hand, or as a fourth card we drew from the deck. So we're just gonna play the lowest card available, which is this number 6 here. We're trying to build a bridge. Depending on what the AI does, okay, this is a clear indication the AI doesn't have any strong cards like a king or an ace. And when that is the case and you have high cards, you don't want to waste them on empty spaces for too long. So you just go straight ahead, and we're looking for a confrontation here. We're not pulling any punches. And look at that. Ace over a king. One of the best moves you can have, especially this early in the game. Like ace over a king, that's the best. That's the best thing that can happen to you. Now, ideally, the best move for me would be to have back-to-back aces. If I had, if I would have had an ace, I would have played it on top of that jack. I didn't, so that's why I played that, that queen over the jack. But that's the best move to have. That's the best strategy. One of the best offensive strategies is having back-to-back aces. You can't imagine how strong that is early in the game. Okay, so right now we're just waiting to see if the AI will play a king. It didn't. Nevertheless, we're still very strong here. Whatever he puts here, I'm gonna ace it. I can't risk losing access to this jack here. I can give him free cards. So whatever he puts on top of that 10, I'm gonna ace it without question. At this point, we're just going tit for tat. This is tricky. Damn, I'm gonna have to fall for it because I have nothing. I have no desire to play such high cards and empty spaces. I know I'm about to be caught off here. We're just trying to go around it one way or another. I knew that was gonna happen. I was expecting that. Now that's an ace. That's fine. We can't lose access to this. Okay, we're not chasing that anymore. I'm not gonna worry about that ace on the opponent's home row. I already wasted a king on something other than a queen. Lucky for us, he put a jack. He used one of his queens on top of the jack here. So I'm not gonna have to worry about that queen. He does have another one that I haven't taken yet, and that's the one I'm gonna have to worry about. Okay, so at this point, we have low cards to waste on empty spaces. That's what we're gonna do. Okay, so this is it. We're playing the last three cards of the game, and he's gonna play that queen on an empty space. Told ya. Okay, we got the first win of the evening. Not what I would like, because I was really hoping to get back-to-back aces. But anyway, this will do. This is a very good, um, a very nice win. Take it and leave it. It's a 3-point lead, so it's really good. In the Techu world, a 3-point a 3-point win is a decisive win. You didn't luck out of that one. You didn't get that by chance. Well, you could say I was lucky enough to get that ace at the very beginning. So I mean, there's always a luck component in the Teshu world, but we did plan our moves very well. So once again, we drew 3 cards, played the lowest card on hand. The AI ended up playing an even lower card, so it goes first, I go second, and now I'm gonna place this 7 over here. I don't really have any aces or any strong cards to back up any confrontation, so he's gonna have the upper hand on this match. Wow, not what I was expecting. And I'm not talking about him taking cards. I mean, I'm talking about me not being able to counter anything here and playing that 10 on empty space. What? He's really giving it all. Okay, this is kind of tricky here. You don't want to give him access that easily to your low level cards. He would have played that 4 on top of the 2. Can't let that happen. We're gonna have to go on the offense very soon. Okay, you see that? That's a sign the opponent has somewhat mid to high level cards because he played it on top of the, right next to this jack of ours. If he would have had a 2 or a 3, he would have played it back here, very safe. But here, he's asking for a confrontation. Unfortunately for us, we still don't have the cards. We would need to, back up such a move. So we're going to have to give this one up here very easily. We got the ace, although I still don't want to play it, not just yet. Oh, I think it's time to do that just now. Look at that. Okay, that's a huge mistake. A huge mistake. Why? Because he didn't end up taking any of my kings. So my kings, right now, both of them have become aces all of a sudden. But both my kings have become aces. In an ideal world, I would prefer to have one of my king aces or both of my aces to take over the opponent's kings. But if you look at this scenario, I have the chance to block him over here and then continue to block him here with this 6 over the 4. And when I get my kings, which I hope they're coming soon, I'll be able to block him off completely. So that's what we're going to do. And of course, having back-to-back aces, even if it's close to my side of the board, is really strong. And we got the first king of the evening, of the match, which is exactly what we were hoping for. He's gonna have to use one of his kings to stop that queen. He didn't get it, so we're just gonna block him off here. At this point, okay, we knew that was gonna happen. We have the luxury of spending our kings on something other than queens because we took both queens with aces. And this is another move I cannot miss. Okay, remember, he still has another, by the way, I'm playing last. Right now, I'm going to have a 2-point lead when I play this here. I just need to make sure I hold on to that lead long enough, until he runs out of cards. Now, he still has another king that I won't be able to stop in any way, shape, or form. Ideally, I want to make sure he does that in a way that that doesn't interfere with my plans. And by that, the ideal scenario is that he plays his king first, supposedly, or in this case, on top of the eight or any other card that ends up being here, and then I block him up with that jack. Remember, this jack can only be stopped by the other king he has, and that's what we need to play on. That's our strategy right now, making sure he plays that king somewhere where he's not going to bother me and I can block him off later. Mm, that could have been the case, but no, I'm not. Oh yes, I'm gonna have to. Okay, he played it, although not in the way I was hoping for. But then again, as I told you guys, I have a 2 point lead. So I just have to make sure I keep taking cards from him and I'll be good. Okay. So even if he takes a card right now from me, which he didn't. Now this is a win I would prefer. Getting a Techu. A 3 point lead is better than a 2 point lead, but a win with a Techu is better than any other win without a Techu, no matter how big the lead is. Okay, let's keep going. Hold on, guys. Let me take a look at the stream and keep making sure everything is working. I tend to not check the stream at all whatsoever, and then we end up with horrible, uh, horrible numbers, like the stream not working or something. Okay, so once again, we just end up playing the lowest card on hand. Unless you have an ace, that's another scenario I'm going to explain, even when I get an ace as a starting hand. Right now, we just play the lowest card. This time, we ended up playing the lowest card on the board, so we go first. And whenever you have that many low cards, 6 and 4, not this 9. This is considered a middle card. When you have low cards like this, you can start playing them sideways. When you have cards like this and you go first, I should make that distinction, that clarification. When you go first and you have low cards to waste, then you can start building a side lane as a backup strategy in case this goes south. This play here in the middle. So right now, the AI went forward. We're gonna do the same. This time the AI played sideways. So again, this is an indication the AI doesn't have an ace at all, and maybe doesn't have a king either. In the first match, the AI ended up having a king that he played on top of the 10, I believe, the card we played on top of the 10 that we played. But when he plays sideways, you can try to gamble it a little bit. Considering he played a 9, he must have something like a 10 or a jack or a queen. Could be a king, but it might as well not be a king, the highest card on hand. So at this point, this is when you have to sort of gamble it a little bit, because you could play sideways, but you have to consider what cards you have, and it's a 9, queen, and a king. In the event that we end up getting higher cards, then we end up playing big cards, too many big cards and empty spaces, while the AI seems to be getting low cards. So this is when you have to gamble it and say, okay, am I gonna run away, play around a little bit, waiting for a better card or a better strategy, or am I gonna force the opponent's hand to see what they got, and maybe what I have is good enough to counter them, or in this case, the AI. It doesn't always work when you play against other people, but when you're playing against the AI, you can pretty much say or guess what the opponent is holding or not holding. So at this point, we're just gonna gamble it, play it here in the middle, and let's see what happens. A 10. We guess a 10. We could play a queen, but it could have a king on hand, and we don't want the AI to put a king in the middle when we don't have aces. Okay. Okay, so that's good. Right now we go on the offensive. The ideal situation for us, by the way, is to put an ace here, an ace on the opponent's side of the board, like like the row, the row right next to the right above the home row. That's a killing. Getting an ace here, that's really devastating. We don't have an ace, of course, but we can only hope. And as I told you, the AI had a king, and we couldn't risk putting that king. We couldn't risk giving the AI the chance to put a king in the middle because he was going to do exactly what we were doing. Putting pressure here. He was gonna do that here if I gave him a chance to put that king in the middle. We still don't have an ace. We're just gonna keep looking. Okay, he got the ace first. So this is why we build up a backup strategy. This is why we start building a side lane early on in the game because now you have a chance to do this and try to come back on this side. That's not to say it's a guarantee, but it's still a fighting chance. I'll take it. So at this point, we're gonna have to ace that queen. I'm not gonna let him take both lanes that easily. Okay, I could take that 2 with a 6, but since I got that low card here, I'm just gonna put it here and see what the AI does next. Okay, I have nothing better to do now. Hmm. Okay, we could play that 7 on empty space, but I would much rather play that here. Okay, so right now, if the AI has a queen, sorry, an ace, the other ace, which there's a very good chance it does, he's gonna ace it here, and that's gonna be a killing for me. He's gonna kill my strategy to cut him off. But I gotta risk it. I mean, if he doesn't have it now, there's a higher chance he will get it in the next term. So I gotta bet. I gotta bet on it now. No, he died. He had it. Okay. So he got both of my kings. That's not good. And I will certainly not have both of his kings. Okay, if you look at the board right now and the score, the game is tied. So anyone can win at this point. Anyone, and I mean anyone. He doesn't have any other queens, and I do have a queen. So he has 2 safe spaces he's going to play on. I know for a fact that's what he's going to do. Otherwise, he's going to risk letting me win. And unfortunate. Oh no, it's not 2 safe spaces. It's just 1. Okay, I'm just gonna play here. He's gonna play on one of those empty spaces. I'm gonna take that card, and now he's gonna play on another empty space, and I win. Whew. 3 in a row? Yeah, 3 in a row. Okay, once again, we play the lowest card on hand. The AI played a higher card. I go first, and I don't have that many low cards as like I did in the last game, but it's still low. So I'm just gonna play here. If anything, playing a 10 on top of a 2 is not a big thing. if you consider the AI is playing higher cards than me, so playing a 10 wouldn't have been that bad. But we lucky for us, we got a 3. So okay, this is where we start analyzing things a little bit closer. You have to give it a thought here. I'm holding 2 10s and a 9. If you look at what the AI played first, it's a 9. That was the lowest card it had then. So he will most likely or almost certainly have something better than what I have. In this situation, even though I don't like playing mid-level cards or high-level cards on empty spaces, this is the best move for me. I have nothing better to do than buying time. And lucky for us, he ended up playing another 9. This time he went forward, so I'm just gonna counter that with one of the 10s I had in my hand. Ooh, imakita. That's what we call imakita. When you just get the card you needed at the time you needed it. Oh, he killed me right there. Okay, so but now we got an ace, and now we're gonna play offensively here. He's most likely gonna take it. That's fine. Now we take it here, and next we're gonna take that 8. What is he gonna do? Is he gonna take it? No, he's not. We won't take that 9 as much as we would like to play with differentials, and by that I mean keeping the difference between the card you're playing and the card you're taking to the minimum, which is 1. But I can't risk giving him a chance to take over that 3, to cut me up here with that 3. No way in hell am I going to allow that. So I'm just going to cut him off here. He did just cut me off as well, but it's fine. It's not cutting me off here. Okay, so right now I have nothing better to do than try to build a bridge here because he's going to counter me next. And now I got the other ace. At this point, you can pause for a moment and think, do I play defensively, putting this ace here on top of a queen, considering he still has another king that I haven't taken, that he hasn't played, so he's obviously going to play it at some point. Or do I just play, play this low level card here and build a bridge? I would still have access to, move forward, or I still have access to go back and take over this card later if I decide to do that. The downside is we're giving it access to this low level card in our home row of all things. So we're just gonna block him off this time. It could go either way. Either way is fine. But I decided to block him off because I didn't want him taking that low level card, which he would have taken definitely with that 3. Uh, so at this point, I could play here. I think he's most likely gonna play offensively at that point. So I didn't want to play that low, a card that low. This 6 is fine here. That 4, no, not so much. Okay, he decided to go offensively right now. That's because he's probably holding mid to high level cards, and he wants to not waste them on empty spaces. There's the other king I was afraid of. I can't remember what he had. Oh, that was a king. That was a queen. Okay, so it already played both queens. So I don't have to worry about that king being wasted on something other than a queen. I'm just going to take it. We play first, so there's a 1-point lead the AI has right now. The AI is winning by 1 point. That's not so much. We can still find a way to beat it at the very end. Okay, not now. Okay, this is the moment I was waiting for. So right now he has nothing better to do than play on an empty space. And this is where Everything will be decided right now. What I have to do right now, okay, we got this, by the way. We're gonna win this one. So all I have to do is make sure I'm able to take cards on every turn, which I can, and then at some point on any of the opponent's turn, he must not take one of my cards. And that's gonna happen after I play this queen. I'm not gonna play it first. I don't need to play it first. The game is tied right now, so he's gonna, take another card. He's probably gonna take that 7, but now he's not gonna take that queen. He doesn't have any cards to take that queen. He's gonna play on an empty space, and I win. 4 in a row here. Maybe I shouldn't say that out loud. That's usually bad luck. I don't want to jinx it. But we still got 4 in a row, including a Techu, by the way. So all good. Oh, I forgot to share the link in one of the channels. Hold on, give me just a moment, guys. Okay. Once again, withdraw 3 cards and play the lowest card in the middle. This time we end up going second, and look at the cards we are spending. Look at the cards we're playing on empty spaces. Ooh. Oh, lucky for us, we got that ace. If I hadn't drawn that ace, I probably would have played the king because, uh, as long as kings are able to take, as long as cards are able to, how can I explain this? As long as you are able to use a card to its highest potential, then it's not really that bad. And when you keep differentials to a minimum, in most cases you're doing things correctly. But in this situation, no, we cannot give him a chance to play that. He most likely has an ace on hand, so we're not gonna give him a chance to ace one of our kings. No way. And I'm just gonna play this here. He's most likely gonna ace it. No. Okay. Again, this could go here. Now on this side, this close to the home row, it's not really the end of the world if you let the opponent ace one of your kings. It's usually the middle space that is really, really worrisome. But I still don't want him to take one of my kings. No, 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 no. I still would like to get a back-to-back aces, even though I wouldn't take any of the opponent's kings. But still, back-to-back aces is pretty strong. Right now, all we're gonna do, we're gonna play this 8 here as a bait, if you will. I know he's gonna take it, and then we're gonna. Okay, now that we got a low level card, I was thinking about maybe taking that 10 with the queen. I'm not gonna do that. I got this low level card, so I'm just gonna play it here on an empty space, and that's exactly what I wanted the AI to do right now. So what I'm gonna do next, I got him to the whole point was to make him spend a higher card than me. Like I played a 4, he played an 8. I end up winning in that exchange, if you want to put it that way. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to play this queen here. He will most likely ace it, which is the highest card he has on hand. Oh, he didn't. Okay, so the next move, I have nothing better to do than play that king here. Oh, look at that. He didn't have an ace after all. I would have played that king long ago, and that would have been the best move to make. But anyway, no regrets here. We still did the best we could have with the information we had available. And now that we got a lot of low level cards, we are going to build this bridge here because at some point he's gonna take that queen, unless I get my ace first. And when he does, I want to make sure I have access to the home row, to my home row. I don't want him to cut me off. Okay, there are no more safe spaces right now. Anywhere he plays it, there's gonna be a confrontation, and he decided to play it here, close to his ace, which is a card he will always have access to. I mean, he will not lose that spot. That's why the AI decided to play that there. Because if we would have played here or here, it wouldn't have been the same. Okay, both aces drawn, played, and we also got the other ace. I don't want to play immediately though. The easiest move for me would have been to take that king, and then in the next turn take that three. But I want to know what he's gonna do with the other king. I was hoping he would play that king at some point right there so I could block him off. Right now, the I mean, technically, I could play this here, and then it would be a tie game. Not gonna happen. By the way, I didn't play that. I could have played these six over the five. I just want to make sure I'm playing the lowest card possibly available at my disposal. Wow, look where he played that king on top of a six. Is it because he had nothing better to do? I guess it doesn't. I want him to this. No, no, he's not gonna have a. Okay, he's gonna play here. Is it a two? Is it a Techu for me? Oh yes. Oh yes. Nice. Okay. Let's keep going. I call. That's when the opponent, both players play the same card. It's a tie or a draw. So we have to play a game, play another card. Again, I'm just gonna play the lowest card on hand, but I'm thinking about where am I going to play it. So I'm holding mid to high level cards, and I don't want to run around. If I would have had like four, six, twos, and threes, I would have played here instead of the same lane the opponent is playing on, and then whatever move he would have made, I'm just gonna play around the board, waiting for my better cards to come. But I'm holding mid to high level cards, so I don't want to run around the whole board. I'm gonna have to make them useful sooner than later, and that's exactly what just happened. Of course, the AI is definitely gonna take that. Okay, out of the cards. No, it didn't work. Okay, nothing better to do. Okay, the AI didn't go for this five. It's probably just waiting for something better. Okay, that worked out for us because now we got this queen on top of a king, on top of a jack. It also worked out for him. We're not looking good. I could risk it, but it's not my style. And when I risk it, I mean playing low level cards, just playing around, and then maybe he's gonna play an eight or a nine on top of a seven, which is a better card for me to take instead of a four, using this 10. Ah, You could take that 4, or you could just play around waiting to get to capture a better card. It could go either way, but I decided to do that. Okay, exactly what I told you. A better card to take with that 10, and he also has better cards to take with his cards. Okay, this time I have no low-level cards to play on empty spaces, so I'm just gonna take over that 7. Don't think twice. Wow, that's harsh. Look what the AI is doing. He has nothing to take over that 6? I doubt that. Oh, by the way, I could have taken that 2 with the 6. Either way would have been fine. I just didn't want him to get the other ace first and then block me on that jack. That would have been devastating for me. We got the other ace, so we're just going to play it here. We're making a little comeback. Oh, yes, definitely. So, yes, he was obviously going to block me off here. Okay, so right now we're going to force the AI. This is something we haven't discussed. Kings are, the second strongest cards. Kings are the second strongest cards in the game. First you have aces and then kings. In an ideal world, you want to take the opponent's kings with your aces, which is exactly what I just did here. Of course, that doesn't always work out for, you don't always get to do that, and it doesn't always work out like that. Now, what I'm getting at is that sometimes, in the interest of taking your opponent's kings with your aces, you can be tricked into playing aces in not so strategic places. So, if I play this king here to avoid the AI from, getting access to all of these cards, he will obviously want to play the other ace on top of the king. That's a very good strategic place to play it on. But if I play it here, it's not so advantageous for the AI. So I can play my king here in a way to force the AI or trick the AI or your opponent, whoever that is, into playing their strongest cards on other places that are not so advantageous. So that's one scenario that could work out for us. Right this instant, we're not going to do that. We have there's a better move to make, which is blocking it off, blocking the AI here with that 6 over the 4. Okay, so now things are looking much better now, because I can play this king here now. He didn't take any of my kings. I can play this king here, and now he's being blocked. He's going to be blocked from accessing all of these low-level cards I was trying to protect. And he ended up playing one of the queens here in the middle, which is great because I was afraid I was gonna get to a point. It was gonna get to a point where I wouldn't be able to. He would have been using those queens to block me up, or play them strategically. Right now, that's one less card I have to worry about. I think we're gonna win this. This is what's gonna happen. I'm gonna play this jack here. He's gonna have to play the other queen. He's gonna play it right there. Now I'm gonna play the other king here, and I get kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Whew. Great. I think we got like 6 in a row. Not bad. Again, drawing 3 cards and playing the lowest card on hand. The AI is going first. And we have nothing better to do than move forward. Most likely the AI is going to play sideways. Yes. And we have to move forward. We're wasting too many big cards. Oh, that didn't work out for us. Wow, look at what it was hiding. That's okay. We're just going to build a side lane. We're going to make a comeback. Okay. This is good for us, actually. You know, aces on home rows is not a good move either way, either in your lane or your opponent's lane or your opponent's home row. So since we got our first ace, then we're gonna play offensively here. We're gonna cut him off. We played a 7 and then he played an 8, which is perfect for him. Now we are hoping he plays a king on top of a jack. Okay, he didn't. I'm gonna block him off with the queen. Now you play it. Oh, you were holding on to your cards. Okay, this is bad because now we can take over that 9 with the ace, but he will definitely go after that jack if I do, which is not good for me. Told you. I'm not a mind reader. I just know the game. Okay, this is really bad for me. Really? It's a 5-point game right now. That's horrible. Four-point game and only, no, there's not that many cards left to play. There goes one of the kings. No, I lost this one. Oh, we're gonna lose our winning streak. Yeah. Too bad. Wow. Too many cards, too many low level cards early in the game. I didn't have a chance to fight back. In retrospect, I should have played sideways in the very beginning, but you know. That's how you know the strategy that worked in one match is not always going to work and may not necessarily work on the other. Okay, so right now I need to make a comeback, and for that I have to build a side bridge. He's obviously not gonna want me to do that. So he's trying to put me in some sort of check, I guess. Wow. He was just trick him into playing so that I could play a high level card, higher card. I want to block him off. Uh, no, he's gonna have cards. Okay, now I can safely take over these cards because whatever he plays, I will ace it. Now no, I don't want to. I don't want to take that spot. If he goes after these five, I'll kill him. It didn't. Yeah, I played both aces already, so we are going to play this king here because I cannot let him have access to these low level cards that easily here. So that's the best move for us. We're winning actually. We're winning, by the way. We have a 1 point lead. We just need to hold on to that lead. And I have another ace. He has nothing to counter that ace, so we're gonna win this one. Okay. I think we have time for two more Techu matches, so let's go for it. By the way, it was I think, wow, this is so bad. Playing it such high cards in your home road, it's really, really bad, really ugly. Oh, look at that, even more high cards, high level cards and empty spaces. So obviously this is the best move for us. And we have nothing better to do than take that 7 with the 10. Okay, so whatever he puts on top of that 10, I'm gonna ace it. Whatever it is. That's a no-brainer for me. Come on, take that 10. I know you want it. Okay, if he's not gonna go for it, then I'm just gonna secure it with that 7. I still need him to go after that 10. Okay. Now, I don't know if it's a coincidence, but whenever you have back-to-back aces, the opponent ends up playing very high cards on not so advantageous positions. You'll see. Just exactly what I told you. An ace on an empty space. On a home row. Not so strong. That's not a strong move. Okay. Honestly, don't have anything better to do right now. Just keep playing on empty spaces. We still have a 1 point lead, by the way. The opponent has another ace, and I don't. I don't want the AI to have access to these low level cards. So ideally you want to play it here. However, just as you were lucky enough to draw a high level cards to block him off, he may be lucky enough to draw another card in the next turn to, take over your card. So you have to account for that, and we're gonna play that jack up here. Ideally, I wanted to play like a 10 or another jack here, but if it's a queen or I'm sorry, if it's a king, I'm gonna take over that queen. He's gonna play the other queen. Yep, he's gonna play the other ace. Okay, we still have very low cards to draw. Mm, okay, this is good for us. We have a 1 point lead, and we just won the game. Whew. If I were the opponent, I'm not sure I would have played that jack on top of the what did I have there? I don't recall right now, but I don't think I would have played that jack because having that king would give him access to these 5 and these 4, and I wouldn't have ended up playing on an empty space like he did right here. And remember, this is a close game. This is not a 3 point lead game, so anything counts. Maybe I won't just because he played that card on an empty space, which wouldn't have been the case if he had played that king. Maybe he would have been it would have been a tie if he had played that if the AI had played that king here instead of the jack. Uh, yeah, because I would have been the one playing on an empty space next instead of him. Anyway, keep that in mind. And let's play our last match of the evening. Oh, by the way, remember we don't end up streams with losses or ties, so this better be a win, or we're gonna play another one. Okay, we ended up playing the lowest card, and we got a 2 here. So we're gonna play it in this side lane, and then in the next turn we play forward. Lucky for us, we got this low level card. Okay, the AI played an 8. That was the lowest card he had as a starting hand. It decided to play sideways, so that means it doesn't have an ace and possibly not a king. But still, the chances that the AI has higher cards than me are very high. So we are just going to play around like it is doing right now, buying time until we get something better. At some point, you can consider making a move, going offensively, which we're going to do in the next turn because look at the cards we are holding right now: 7, 10, and king. With these cards, you don't want to play around that much. With a 7, you could throw a 7 on an empty space. That's no biggie. Especially if the AI is playing higher cards than you are, the opponent is playing higher cards than you are, in which case it is because he played an 8 on an empty space. So that in that exchange, I'm winning. But you don't want to do that for too long. At least that's not my style. And look at that. It's just like I told you. Okay, so right now we have nothing better to do than move forward. We're not gonna play that 8 on an empty space. He just got it. It was Imakita. And the good thing about playing sideways is that when you lose one, you have another chance to come back, and that's what we're gonna do. And now the AI doesn't have a higher card, so it decided to take over that 8. I think it was a 7. Yeah, a 7. But now I have a chance to cut him off. By the way, the AI plays last. I play first. So there's a 2 point lead on to his advantage. We gotta cut that lead and possibly make a lead of our own. Now here, ideally you want to play differentials, meaning you want to keep the difference between the card you're playing and the card you're taking to the minimum. But this early on in the game, the AI could have any cards, and I don't want to give him a chance to cut me off here. I want to keep the pressure on. Good. And now you can play differentials. Wow, that's a killing. Imakita. By the way, we had to play that jack on that empty space because that was the best move to make. We were holding kings, a king, a queen, and a jack. Nothing better to do than play offensively. And it worked out for us. Luckily, that was the luck of the draw. We still have a 1 point deficit. We have to make up for it. Now, this is where things get interesting. I've told you about the back-to-back aces strategy, which is pretty strong. Right now, we are going to go for taking both kings. He's going to play a card here because he doesn't want to lose access to that card, to that lane. And what we're going to do is we're going to play that queen. And now the best move for us is to protect that lane. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that 8 here. And whatever the AI plays on top of that 8, I'm gonna play a king on top. Oh, hold on. I don't need a king. The AI doesn't have any other queens, any other kings. He played both kings. So if I put the other queen here, my other queen here, the only card it can use to take cover the queen is the other ace. So that means this whole section here, all of this space is secure for me. And we turned that 2 point deficit into a 2 point lead that easily. By the way, I didn't want to play a king on top of a 6, but this time, we're getting to the last stretch of the game. We're getting to the very last 5 cards, and I had to put a stop to that. I had to, obviously there's a queen I won't be able to take, but I made him play on an empty space, which is everything I needed. Wow, this is bad news for me. This may end up in a tie. This is gonna take that to, oh no. Yes. We did it. All I had to do is play an empty spaces, hoping the AI didn't take 3 cards from me. It took 2, but 2 wasn't enough. I had a 3 point lead, and that 3 point lead was enough for me to secure that win with a Techu. This is the best way to end the evening, guys. So, whew, a little bit stressful at the very end because I didn't want to play another game just because I lost. I mean, not that I don't enjoy playing games, but just because I lost, no, I had to win that one. And I ended it with a tissue. So the best way to end the stream right now. So I hope you guys enjoy it, and most of all, I hope you guys learn about what is the best move to make at certain points of a game. You won't always know all the answers, but you can try to guess what will be your best move, depending on what cards you're holding, what cards the opponent has played, and what you think the opponent is holding based on the way they played. I know that might be too too much to think at any given time. I mean, you can't always think about every possible move. You'll you'll go crazy if you do. But at least this gives you I'm just trying to show you the path moving forward. You have to decide which way you want to go. I mean, as I said many times, you sometimes you want to play aggressively, sometimes that can work for you, sometimes it doesn't, and it depends on your style as well. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoy it. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Download the app at Techu.app or TechuOnTheChair.com, however you want to do that. It's available in the Play Store, the Apple Store, and join our Discord community. You know, we got lots of people here playing Techu, and you can find other tissue players here in our Discord. Anyway, this has been a 1 hour stream, a little bit over an hour stream. This has been your world champion and host Alvaro. I'll see you guys next time.